Hey everybody, this is Lorelia coming to you with a YouTube live. Want to discuss some things that have been heavy on my mind, and I think that this illustration that's right behind me will be a big help with me talking about what I am what I want to share. And so if you look behind me, you will see that it is the board of a Monopoly game. And I remember many years ago, I wrote an article, and I'll put a link underneath this video. It was on my blog, and it talked about how the game of Monopoly can help you with financial literacy. And like I said, I wrote that article maybe about 2012 or 2013, and it's something that now, 5 or 6 years later, someone created a Facebook meme on it, and I actually know who this individual is. He's a local investor here, not in New Jersey, but in the Philadelphia market. And I thought this was a great example of it. But the reason why I wanted to talk about this topic is because one, it will pivot from what I was talking about yesterday. I explained to you the difference between what the poor is doing or does do, and the difference in the wealthy. And I talked about me, going to a local seminar here with that real estate guru that's on Shark Tank, Barbara Kevorkian, and how I was unable to get in, but how everything is 360. And as I, got in the car, I started listening to Grant Cardone, and he was talking about some prosperity principles with creating wealth. And so if you look right there, it says you're playing Monopoly every day, but no one taught you how to play it in real life. And of course, the person who made the meme, they have a call to action or what have you. And so it ties right into what I want to talk about, and that has to do with economics. And many people who struggle financially, those who are angry, those who live in a state of, oh, woe is me, I can't seem to get ahead, I can't seem to get a break. Let's think about how the game of Monopoly works. If you've never played, or maybe it's been a long time since you play, I still play, the game with my children. So I'm very familiar with the game. But primarily the rules your goal is to buy three greenhouses and one red hotel. And so as you go around the game board, what you should be doing is buying blocks of property, because if someone else lands on your property, they have to pay you. And so this person who created this meme was saying that that's the game that he plays every day with people. That he's accumulating properties. People are going to live in those properties, and they're going to pay him. Now, the sad thing about it, and the reason why I say it's sad, is because I remember about a year ago I was playing this game with my daughter, and she didn't want to buy any property. She wanted to hold on to her money, and of course, you holding on to money and it not going out there to multiply, to grow. What happens is that since she didn't buy any property, the board was purchased by other people who were playing, and that was myself, that was my son, and that was my husband. Well, lo and behold, since she didn't play, she got bankrupt. And so, because every time she landed on one of those areas of color, she had to pay somebody, whether it was me, whether it was my son, or whether it was my husband, she had to pay. And so that is what goes on in life, is that many of us have been sold, like I talked about in the video yesterday, to work hard. And so I get it. Many of us have been sold that bag of goods, but the problem is that it is an outdated model. And if you want to thrive in this economy, you got to get a new playbook. Now, this game, if you understand the history of the game Monopoly, the game was created sometime in the 30s, I believe, during the time of the Great Depression. When I wrote the article that I said that's on my blog in 2012 and 2013, I did a little research. And so the game was created sometime during the 20s or the 30s during the Great Depression. And so understand that there were groups of people who truly understood the principles of building wealth back in the 20s and the 30s. And of course, they continue to still put those principles in place. Now, I get it. One may say, well, Lorelia, many people, African Americans, for example, were not able to take part in the wealth building process back then. I totally get it. Making no excuses. But like I said, now we have to read a new playbook. And so now, there are, one may say, because at the end of the day, what game of economics are you playing? Because this is what I know. Many people are majoring in what I call strugglenomics. Strugglenomics is real. Like they are majoring in it. They have a PhD in it. And what do I mean by that? They can tell you every reason on why something can't work. They can tell you every reason how the game of Monopoly still isn't going to help them financially. They can even tell you that you need to prove to them how the game of Monopoly can help them financially. And so that's why I said this is those, or should I say, those people are majoring in strugglenomics. And so if you want to thrive financially, you have to decide that you are not going to major in strugglenomics. And what do I mean by that? By you getting involved in some type of wealth building vehicle. And like I said, most and the title says, let me read it, how the game of Monopoly can help you understand money. The reason why I say it can help you understand money is because many people don't know where money comes from. If you ask a person, where does money come from? That person most likely can't tell you, because many of us have been told money comes from work. And I'm here to tell you that money comes from you having the ability to either create or buy assets that can generate income. That is why I said that in my current class that I have going on now, the credit to cash flow program, is to teach people how they can leverage that credit to either buy or either create their own assets to create income for themselves. And so, for example, if you look at the game of Monopoly, what are some of the wealth building vehicles? Let's look on the board. We got some real estate. We got the railroad. We have utilities. And I believe, and then on this particular board, you even have airplane investments. So, of course, all those things that I just mentioned are going to create some form of income for yourself, whether it's passive, whether it's residual, whether even if it's active. But at the end of the day, you have these assets working for you. And like I said, many of them could possibly be active, but the goal is to eventually get to a point where they can even be passive, residual, or even if you can leverage an asset to create income for yourself. So these are the principles that people don't realize they are actually taking part in this game. They are taking part in the game of Monopoly, whether they know it or not. Whether they know it or not, they are taking part in it. And so I'm going to leave you at that. Um, Understand how this game is played. Don't be a person who is going to get a PhD or who is going to be a master at strugglenomics, because strugglenomics is real. Many people are taking part of it. And what are you going to do to not be able to take part in the strugglenomics conversation? Because the strugglenomics conversation is real. Many people are taking part of it. And the reason why is because there are things around you that can cause you to take part in it. It may even be your social media circle. It may even be the media. It may even be your family. It can maybe even be your friends. And what are you going to do to break out of the strugglenomics and take part in the prosperity that is given to you for you to thrive instead of survive? So, like I said, currently these are conversations that we are talking about in my credit to cash flow program that I have. The links will be below this video. If you're still working on your credit, trying to increase your credit score, I still have the free book. I still provide the credit software. And so sky's the limit. There's no excuses. And let's win financially in 2019. Okay, thank you. See you in the next video. And don't forget to leave a comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts. Are you majoring in strugglenomics or not? Bye-bye.